Hey, listen, this is official. It finally fucking happened. It finally happened. I've been getting tagged in this man's posts. Anytime you post
your
anything.
tags made it happen.
Yeah, thank you fans for making this happen.
Yeah.
Literally, anytime you post anything, I get like at least like a couple tags. And I go, I know he's there. I know he exists.
It started in the terror video, right?
Yeah, it started with the terror video.
They're like, Shapel Lacey, you look like Shapel Lacey.
So many people.
You guys will be best friends. I was like, not knowing that you had hit me up. Like,
it's so funny. I didn't even process the video at first. And I literally thought people were just tagging me because it was like a black dude
at a
hardcore show, and I was just like, because I do get tagged in that kind of stuff a lot, where people just tag me just because a black dude happens to be there, and I happen to be of that world, and people are just get a tag, and I'm like, all right, but I was like, who's this dude? I was like, he's got a lot of followers. I thought you were singing in the band. Then I was reading the description. I was like, Terror. I was like, wait, he's not in Terror. I was like, he was doing guest vocals, and then I saw like UFC, and I was like, oh, this dude's a fighter? Like I had no clue because I don't know anything about UFC.
Yeah.
And Shop, it drives Shop crazy. But you know what? Listen, I'll learn.
I respect it.
I'll fucking
learn.
But no, it did like spark a lot of interest, because then I saw that you were on Rogan. I listened to that whole episode. Sick. Learned a lot about you. There's a lot of great things about you that I really want to talk about. I even wrote down notes. I wrote down fucking notes for this episode because I was like, this dude. I was like, I got to know anything and everything I can.
Amazing
about this man.
That's
and let me introduce him, Khalil Rountree, everybody. UFC fighter. He fights in the light heavyweight.
Yeah, light heavyweight.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah.
And you're originally from Los Angeles.
Born in LA, raised in Vegas. So we moved to Vegas when I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, little bit of details about that situation is when I was born here. My mom and dad both lived here together.
Yes.
At the time, my dad was touring. He was the manager for Boyz II Men, New Edition, like that world of music.
Yeah. Great world.
He got murdered on tour in '92, and we stayed in Vegas after that until my great grandmother got sick, and my mom decided to move to Vegas to take care of her.
Okay.
Right? So then we moved to Vegas, my mom, my brothers, and I, but my family stayed here in LA, like aunts, uncles, all that. Our plan wasn't to like stay in Vegas that long. It was more just like we were going to take care of my grandmother, come back to LA. But after she passed, we just chose to stay in Vegas. It was cheaper.
Yeah.
We like short drive back and forth for holidays, all of that stuff. And
so you consider Vegas like the home?
Yeah, like when people ask me where I'm from, I say Vegas.
Okay.
Because that's like where I was raised. But then also it's like, are you from LA? Like, I feel
because you have a very LA vibe, though.
Yeah, and see, because like a lot of the time I spent like my aunts, uncles, cousins, like everybody lives in LA. So for holidays, it's just like Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, Easter. Like everything was always back and forth between LA and Vegas. So like, like my heart was in LA, but I was raised in Vegas. So I just like LA kind of built a lot of my like and culture, like the things that you know what I mean, the real things that I enjoy. And then Vegas was kind of like everybody from Vegas is from somewhere else.
Yes. Everyone was transit. Yes.
Everyone, yeah. So like,
we're specifically in LA.
I was born in Culver City.
Okay.
And then my house was on like Venice and Sepulveda. So like, that kind of area. And then, but I had like family in like Inglewood and South Bay and all over, but mostly Culver City. I can say that's where a lot of my memories are from, in those parks and
because I'm trying to get a solid gauge of like, because as I've been learning about you, I'm like he's so universal. You know what I mean? Like I swear to God, you guys ever seen that Spider-Man meme where they're like both Spider-Mans are pointing at each other? That's us.
Yeah.
And that's what like grew my interest, because I'm like, oh hell yeah, like because I know you're a massive music fanatic, like you like all music.
Yeah.
You know, like you go, you know, pretty far. Because I mean, I saw you post. I saw the post of the Terror video, like you singing with Terror.
Yeah.
And then I see you dancing to Tina Marie's Square Biz. So it's like, okay, hell yeah. Okay, this is my guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so how did like what was it for you that made you go yes to music? Was it like a song? Was like what made you go into that world? Because you have a pretty broad.
I think it was like being raised knowing that my father was who he was and what he was involved in. You know, like he was friends with Morris Day. He was, you know, like
fucking amazing.
For his business partner, like after my dad had passed, his business partner had his wedding reception at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, and I was there.
What the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so as a very, like, from a child, I was just surrounded by musicians and, like, celebrity musicians. Although I didn't know at the time who these people were.
Yeah.
As I started to grow up, I was like, this is kind of cool. And then also my dad left a bunch of, like, platinum plaques from Boyz II Men and things like that they had given to him. So when I was walking down the hallways and, you know what I mean, in our houses, it's like, that's what I see, gold and platinum records with my name on it because my dad named me after himself, you know? So, like,
that's amazing.
So I'm, like, seeing these things and I'm like, music.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
You know, just, like, it was just subconsciously, like, you know, uploading into my brain that, like, I have who I am has something to do with music.
Yes.
So as a kid, like for Christmas, when I turned maybe like 7 or 8, when I started to kind of finally develop my own identity and create my own identity, every Christmas, my mom's like, okay, Christmas list. I'm like, drum set, guitar, bass guitar, keyboard, you know, whatever. I just wanted a new instrument every year.
Yeah.
Until in my room, I have just like everything, you know, like turntables, guitars. And I'm just like, all right, I hate school. Don't really like the learning style. I'm more of an experiential learner. So I'm just like making things at home. And my brothers were athletes.
Yeah.
And my best friend at the time, like his mom was a bartender at one of the casinos. His dad was in the military. So when I'd visit his house, like in their tape deck and CD deck was like Marilyn Manson, Alice in Chains, you know, like not like a lot of like 90s alternative, you know what I mean? Things like that. So like we'd take those CDs and put them in, and then we'd be like, oh, you know, this is cool. And we're driving to Arizona because they had like a property out there. The road trips there, it was all like that type of stuff. So I got exposed to different types of music really early. And then I just started trying to make my own stuff inside of my room. My brothers were athletes. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
You were really into that.
Lock my door.
Yeah.
Put signs on the door, don't come in, you know, like.
And you were in bands, correct?
Yeah, I played in like multiple bands. Played guitar in a metalcore band. Did vocals for this like Kids Like Us style like hardcore band. We called it Nar Wars. We just played one show just for the fun of it. It was cool. Yeah, just like anytime like a friend's band would need like an idea, like, oh, we want to do this type of band, like, all right, I'll play something, you know, bass, whatever. So
with like you know, I wonder if we had similar experiences with this. So like going like, what was your school like growing like in school, like was it, you know, because I'm from Arizona, right, and I went like, you know, some of my schools, like, I mean, I got a lot of shit for being the black kid that skates, listens to punk, you know, likes guitar.
It's a weird space.
It's a weird space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, did you have a similar experience?
Very. So
yes.
In 5th grade, I remember in 5th grade, I wore an NSYNC shirt to school. And I got slammed for it. Like,
but you were just like, I fuck with this.
I fuck with NSYNC. They're getting all the girls. They're making fire music.
Yeah.
Like, they're everywhere. So I got a shirt, and I wore it to school. And I just remember, like, I mean, I was the biggest kid in school, and I was black.
Yeah.
And my mom moved us to, like, the best neighborhood she could, right? So it was like, I already kind of stood out. So then, like, I wore my NSYNC shirt to school, feeling real good. Got, like, made fun of for it. And I wasn't like an angry guy. I didn't want to fight anybody, so I just took it in like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
It hurts. I don't like you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
you just push.
I'm cool. I'm chilling, and you guys have no reason to attack me. So like, my NSYNC shirt, like I remember wearing it, got bullied for it, and I was just like, okay, well then I need to have like something harder.
Yeah.
You know, like people don't mess with NSYNC. All right, then like, what do I have to like? What shirt can I wear that shows this is the music that I support and I get respect for it? You know.
Yeah.
So then like it was kind of like my search in music, you know, and like I think it was
started
like,
taking the deep dives.
Yeah, fifth or sixth grade. It's like I had a friend named Mike who skateboarded, and he came to school with like MXPX shirts, AFI patches, you know, like No Effects patches, and I'm like, what's this? He's like, oh, come to my house, you know, go to his house after school. He's like, yeah, this is AFI. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like, this is No Effects. Oh, and so I'm like, okay, cool. So now like my next like finds, if I go to the record store and I see a No Effects something, I'm like, Mike showed me this. I like this.
Yes.
I'm going to grab it. And I'd go home and I'd listen to it and I'd try to mimic it on the guitars. I'm like, I'm learning No Effects. So that's kind of like how I started just picking up different music.
Mm-hmm.
Is just from a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
You know, and like it gave me so many different sets of friends and places to express myself, and you know what I mean, like
it lets you be a part. Like you can fuck with anybody. You can, you know, like any you thrive in any type of environment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
through music.
Yeah,
right?
through music.
Like,
yeah.
An appreciation for music is kind of like what made me realize, like that's kind of where I found my connection to people.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
at an early age.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because there's so many different styles of it. Because like obviously like you knew New Edition, Boyz II Men, like you knew this world, you knew the Michael Jackson, you knew that world. And then there's also this other world. It's like, oh shit, MXPX, No Effects, you know, Pennywise, you got that world. Then you go over here, you got Marilyn Manson, Alice in Chains, Korn. There's so many like.
So to answer your question about school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So given all the information that I just like, you know, we just came up with this conclusion. So growing up in school, I was always that kid that was just like, black kid, kind of stood out because I looked different than everybody. I would like sewed my pants super tight at an early age because I liked how it looked on the skate videos that I was watching with my friends, you know. So I never really like had a group that I fit into. I was always just like the guy who stood out that kind of made friends with whoever like accepted him. Yeah, it was different until like I got into, so because of that, like I got treated certain ways, always felt outcasted. It was making me angry, but I didn't want to fight anybody. And then I found hardcore.
Yeah.
And that was like the medicine to like my rage.
Yes.
That I didn't want to let out, that I wasn't allowed to let out in public because like people were already afraid of me. So God forbid I'm like this guy who's screaming ready to break somebody in half, you know?
Yeah.
And I went to a hardcore show and I was like, this is where I belong.
Yes.
Like, boom, and just let it explode.
It just
you know what I mean?
fucking bursted.
And then I started reading the lyrics and I was like, these actually mean something. They're actually like, you know, they're powerful lyrics. It's not just like ignorant, you know, like, and I mean, till this day, I still dive into just like trying to uncover the depth behind the stuff that impacts me.
You know what I mean? I always tell people like, you know, because I remember the day I discovered, you know, hardcore music and hardcore punk rock. Just, you know, was with Black Flag, and you know, just seeing that, it was just like I don't know, it gives you this like, oh, this is what I've been searching for. You know, this is what I've been trying to find. Tell me, because you know, when I think about the way I grew up, like you had anger, but you didn't want to fight anybody.
Yeah.
I did. You know, I had both. You know, I was like, man, I'll fuck you up. You know, like on the regular. You know, I was just ready because, you know, and I think it's because, you know, at home, my stepfather, you know, I grew up with a crazy abusive stepfather, and my biological mom was eventually adopted into a white family. which everyone thinks that's where the fucking music comes from. I go, no. These motherfuckers listen to church music, all right? And I did not like that shit. But anyways, but you know, like the way my stepfather didn't like the fact that I listened to any of that music. He didn't like, you know, that I skated. You know, he wanted me to be a specific way. I remember one time, you know, because I like, you know, just like you said with the skate videos, you saw those pants. And like my favorite skateboarder, his pants were always high watered, and he'd wear like white socks with just like Ed Templeton.
Okay.
So Ed Templeton, I would watch him skate, and I would just see the high waters, and I was like, fuck yeah, you know, I like that style. And you know, so I would dress that, I would get the skate shoes and all this stuff. And I remember one time my stepfather, like, you know, just threw my shit away and made my brother, my oldest brother, walk me to the mall and get like fucking Nikes. And I was so like, and I remember when I showed up to school, and like, I was already made fun of for being being who I was. But when I showed up to school in these Nikes and baggier jeans, like people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you didn't even feel like yourself.
No, I didn't feel like myself, and it was the first time that people actually like realized like, "Oh, that ain't him." That's why he's, you know, listens to this shit. But you know, I had to like, you know, one of the things I would do, I would get ready at a friend's house. So I'd still get my skate clothes and all that stuff. And I would leave the house in the clothes that my stepfather made me get. And then I would go to my friend's house, and get ready there and change, and then fucking be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Give me my skateboard, motherfucker. But like for me, you know, and I wonder if this helped you as well, you know, just that world of hardcore and punk rock and that genre specifically. And don't get me wrong, I listen to everything as well.
Yeah.
You know, but there was something about it that made me have this, like, find my own individual strength. That taught me this individuality. Because I think, just like you were saying, like, you know, you didn't really have a specific group of people that you kicked it with. Like, I mean,
that I identified with. Yeah, like, this is my people. Yeah, no, like, yeah. I got the same thing from that. Yeah. From hardcore. That
it delivers this, like, you know, you don't need any of that. You can be an individual and love yourself, and like, you know, that's what I've learned from it.
Yeah.
You know,
how to, like, in a way, that's why I respect Terror so much, and like everything that they've done for the hardcore community, because their whole message and like Scott's whole vibe, even when he's performing, is like the feeling that I get from it a lot is like, take your power back. Yes. Like, life beat you down, whatever you're going through. Whatever is the reason why you're here today, like, he's there to be like, nah, take that shit back.
Yeah, take that shit back. Dude, I tell people, like, dude,
it's
gosh,
like,
it's so insane.
That everything that, for me, it's like everything that I lost or felt like I lost inside, right? I'm just like, heartbreak, this, that. It's like, hardcore shows were that place where it's like, that's where I get it back.
Yeah, that's where you get it back. You know that, like,
look
at us getting this rage.
You know, it's like this like inner like strength that
it's almost really hard to explain to people. Like if you don't get it, then you just won't get it. But like when you see it and you understand it, like it's just like you're locked in. Because you know, like I lost my oldest brother in 2013. He had passed away of an accidental overdose.
Damn.
And, you know, I remember, you know, like that was probably the most depressed I think I've ever been in my life.
I can
like the lowest point I think I ever been through. You know, because there was so much. Like my brother, like he was like the only one that like he was like, yeah, that's Shapel, that's who he is. And, you know, he supported all of that. So like that's what like it hurt. But you know what I did? The first thing I did, and I hadn't done it in a while, you know, I went to a hardcore show. I just went to a punk show, and I was just like, I'm like, yes. You know, and it gave me this like energy back, and I just kept going to, you know, punk shows after punk shows after punk shows to like feel that again. And honestly, you know, among many things, but that was one of the things that helped me climb out of that depression. You know what I mean? It helped me understand a lot. You know, it helped me start thinking about, you know, the way I was treated by my stepfather. You know, I started thinking about that, and I was like, you know what, man? Forget it.
Yeah.
I was like, if I, because I always thought if I was like, you know, going crazy and mad at him, I was like, then he has my power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he has my power if I sit there and I go, fuck him, he treated me like this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, like you said,
take it back.
Take it fucking back.
Take it back.
He don't have anything. I'll shake his fucking hand.
I think it was that band, 7 Star, hardcore band. They were on, I forget the name of the label right now, but I think they had a song called Take It Back. And the dude was super buff. He was like shirtless or like tank top. Just like it's lyrics like that or songs like that or moments seeing bands like that. Even if you've never seen them, they're like, this song's called Take It Back. You're like, yeah.
No, it's amazing, man. Like, and to see what it's like, and it's cool to hear your story. I'm it's crazy as social media can be. It can be cool at the same time because people tagged me in your stuff and it got us here to have this conversation. I knew I was just like, I know there's gonna be dope connections.
What I like the most is that it wasn't one of those like connections that's like you saw me or I saw you and we're like, so who the fuck you think? That kind of sometimes you can go in a place you see another black dude and it's kind of like it's not instant love. It's just kind of like
I don't know. Would this happen to you? Like, and I always tell people because I'm like, it's such a weird world and like our world is kind of like we're kind of like in an unknown world.
Yeah.
That most people don't realize. Like, but there was times, and I don't know if this would happen to you, where I would go to a show, right, and I'd see another black person there. And they'd be like, kind of. I'm like, hey, bro, hey, come on,
like what up?
Like, hey, what's like? Hey, we're both here. You know what I mean? Like, kind of just like this, like not pop. Like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They're kind of just like, do you really like this music? Just like I do. Like,
scanning you.
Almost scanning you. And I'm like,
talk to me, and
I'm like, bro, come on.
We could be friends.
We both hate our parents. I'm just kidding. But but no, like I don't know if that's ever happened with you.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, not so much in Vegas because, like I said, Vegas being just this crazy melting pot of people from all over.
Yeah.
I mean, like my friend group growing up, we had this like thing going on. We called it like BHK, border hopping crew.
Yeah.
And it was because like everybody was so different. Like we had a handful of like black dudes, Mexican dudes, white dudes, all types of stuff mixed together. Some guys were into punk, some guys were into graffiti, some guys were athletes, skateboarders, but we were all best friends because we were all from the same neighborhood. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like it was pretty similar for like the crowd that the hardcore scene in Vegas like generated. Like my best friend Albert, another black dude, put me on to so much music. There's just like there's everybody together. So not so much in the hardcore scene but I get it in elsewhere, like that kind of like that interaction.
It's just like, and it's so awkward. It's like, chill. Like, hey, I fuck with it too. All right, all right, let's chill. We're the odd people out. Let's just fucking enjoy it.
Have you heard that band Zulu?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Zulu is a new, they're pretty new power violence band.
Okay, I love power violence.
They are nasty.
I love power violence.
Nasty, right?
They're called Zulu.
Zulu.
Like Anaya, Zulu Nation. Yeah.
Anaya is the lead singer. He's like smaller guy with super curly hair. He wears big glasses and like retro like Adidas suits and just the dude's got style, right? But everybody in the band is black. They're a black power violence band.
I need to see this.
Called Zulu. I almost wore the shirt today, but I was like, I don't have any kicks to match. So anyway, so like ZULU. But like people have been go to that video, Straight from the Tribe of the Moon. Look at this video.
I gotta see this. Oh, this is amazing.
These are all the band members. That's Anaya right there.
Oh wow.
But he's screaming. Like you can't hear it right now, but it's power.
Were they from? Are they out of California?
There's like a couple in California. I think there's a member in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Anaya also he's the drummer for the straight edge band called Dare, which they're nasty too. Like
I'm writing it
from
down.
Orange County. But yeah, like they
So this singer drums for Dare?
He drums for Dare, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they posted a video the other day. There was like this black girl, on her stories, and she's like, no, I am not in Zulu. Like, just because I'm black at a hardcore show, why are you asking me if I'm in Zulu? Like, I don't look like none of those people, you know? So that's kind of like current, like, she's just like a smaller black girl. She goes to a hardcore show. They're like, oh, are you in Zulu? Uh-huh. She's like, no, motherfucker.
No, I'm just fucking,
I'm just here.
I'm just here. I like the music. That is funny.
Yeah, but that's them. They're sick. You got to check them out.
Oh, I wrote it down. Yeah. I was like, I will fucking definitely check that out.
Yeah.
But like, I guess what was hard for me, I didn't really have like a crew of friends. I was kind of like just like a lone wolf when it came to like I would go like all the concerts I would go to, like a lot of times I would go by myself because none of like my friends, a couple friends I truly hung out with, they didn't really listen to that stuff, but I did, and I kind of just like would just go to these concerts lone wolf by myself and just enjoy it and then leave. And so like it was tough, in the sense. And I also dealt with like identity issues on a racial level to where like, everybody just called me white all the time. Yeah. Like even at home, mainly for my stepfather, not my siblings or anything like that, but like, to hear that at home, and then to go outside of home and hear that all the time too, like it just made me question a lot of things about me. Mm-hmm. But I always just stuck, like the music, is what held me up, that whole time. Yeah. But it's still, I struggled with a lot of things mentally. I think that's where my anger came from, and obviously, from, my childhood. But like just, there was just so much connecting to like, anger.
Did you ever feel like you were getting pushed like back and forth, right? From like too white from your black side, but too black for the white side type of thing? If you have to put it in like very like, concrete, if you have to separate it that much. Like for me, I feel like a connection to that is like, yeah, I kind of got like, oh, you speak proper, or like, oh, you're into like just crazy stuff. But then like from like athletic like from my athlete friends or people who were, like black or whatever, they'd be like, you know, like, or like my skateboarding friends. Sometimes like I experienced like a lot of racism growing up, especially when I was traveling like with metal bands, and we're playing in like BFE Kentucky, at like, at a bar, and it's just like I feel this crazy like, damn, I probably shouldn't be here. I probably shouldn't be here. Yeah. So like this kind of like, mental kind of like, not warfare, but like ping pong. It's like, damn, like, where do I belong? Yeah. Where can I be accepted? You know, like.
Yes. I felt, I mean, across the whole board, I felt all of that. I'm not, and I've like, it's taken me years to really understand that. And I don't think I really found that connection until I reconnected with my biological father. He was locked up for like 17 years. He didn't do it, but he didn't do it, man. They was tripping on him. Yeah, man, he didn't do it. But when the first time we had sat down, I was nervous to meet with him because he's straight up gangster. Yeah, like he's gangbanger, drug dealer. Was
allegedly,
yeah, motherfuckers, allegedly. But so I was kind of scared to like connect with him, and reach out to him, but I wanted to know who my dad was, and I was just like, man, I'm just this, dirty punk rocker, like kind of. I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna like, I don't know how he's gonna feel about this, but he was just so cool and so with open arms, and he started showing me like my, that side of my family, like he was just like, oh, this is your cousin, this is your your great grandma, your grandma, like all this stuff. And, the fact that he was saying this is your grandma, so it's like, oh, I am who I am. And I've always been, I was like, no one can tell me any different. I mean, people still say the whole white, I don't think that'll ever leave,
for sure.
Whatever. But like, I don't get as like crazy and upset as like I used to whenever it happened, now I'm like, like my anger, like, yeah, you and I want to talk to you about anger.
Yeah.
You know, because you talk about like not being non-confrontational. Like I've had 3 different anger management teachers. You know, hey, I know, and look where I'm at today. You know?
Doing good.
I'm doing good. I ain't going back, Miss Berry. But but you know, so like I don't know. It's just crazy to hear that you had the anger and you knew it existed, but you had this like side of you that you didn't want to hurt.
Dude,
you know,
if I'm being 100% honest, like I don't even think I've ever said it this way or to anyone, but like I guess it was just like I was too soft, you know. Like after my dad died, like.
And you were how old?
I was only 2.
You were only 2,
but I had 2 older brothers that
yes.
like my dad pretty much like adopted them, right? Like
yes.
he took them in as their own. So like after he died, and the way my mom raised me was like close.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily like a mama's boy, you know, but like.
But she had
me
tight,
like pretty close and made sure that I was protected, you know, like, and kind of like my mom let me travel at 14 and go on tour and things like that. So she wasn't like overbearing.
Yeah.
But like just having that amount of love growing up, I didn't feel like I wanted to hurt anybody. Yeah. Because I felt my mom's pain every day.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
damn.
Like
that's interesting. That's
you get what I'm saying? Like
very.
The pain from violence, I had to live feeling that from my mom every day. You know? Like she held me from pain of losing someone to violence.
Yeah.
And my brothers, like, they did their thing. They hustled. They were in the streets. Like, whatever they were doing, I saw kind of like the things that they were getting into, getting in fights. I remember when I was just a kid, my brother had gotten in a fight at school. He got stabbed in the nose with a screw.
Oh, fuck.
You know, so he comes home, his eyes bleeding, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight. Like, like, you guys could have talked it out. Like, in my mind, you know, like that's how I'm processing it. I'm like, why does it have to resort to someone who I love now could have got his eye poked out?
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I just never really wanted to hurt anybody. But I did internally. But I knew that I never would, like, let it go. So I was just like this, like,
damn, I wish I had that.
ticking time bomb. But you know what I mean? I was just like, and it was more like, that's kind of what drove my musical interest. But it also, like, kind of made me, like, super, like, sad.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, insecure because I was just holding on to so much. I was like, yeah.
Well, I
and I ate a lot. That's what made me fat. So,
yeah. And you got to 300
at 19. Yeah.
At 19. Yeah. I was listening to you talk about that on the road. You said you were smoking cigarettes. I think you said you were laying down one night and then you just felt your heart racing.
I thought I was gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, man. I was like laying down in the apartment. Like my whole family, we like lived together at the time, and it was just like I just felt like my heart was like not like beating. It felt like it was like it
deteriorating or like just like
it was hard to pump, and like I was like coughing up like black tar and shit from the cigarettes, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I feel like I'm gonna die, and I'm way too young to die.
And there's you think about it, you're like, there's a lot I want to do. You know what I mean? And I don't know, you probably, and I don't know if you put this into consideration. Like I did, like when I lost my brother. You know, I was like, you know, there was things he wanted to do, but he didn't get the chance to. So it's like I need to live as best as I can and do as great as I can and really take care of, you know, myself, so I'm able to, you know, move forward as best as I can. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I don't know if that was a thing you had thought, like, you know, like, you know, with like the weight and like your the health issues.
Yeah, man. I think it was a collection of like being overweight, 19 years old, still hadn't even like had an actual girlfriend yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A romantic, like, actual relationship. Me, my mom, my sister, my brother, and my niece were all living in a 2-bedroom apartment in, like, East Las Vegas. We had one car, struggling to make $750 rent, meat. Like, you know, like, it was just, like, there was just a collection of just being, like, in the shit. And I'm, like, my brother was, at the time, he was rehabbing his arm. And I'm, like, looking over, like, we got to do something, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that, like, selling $10 bags of weed, me just sitting here like, wasting my life. Mom struggling, you got a baby girl. Like, we got to do something, man. Let's join the gym. That's what got us into MMA. We were like watching Ultimate Fighter. We were like, you trying to do this? Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's go fight. If they're making money fighting, like, we could fight, Like, let's do it. And that's like,
and that's what I thought was also interesting, is that you went into fighting, but, and I strongly, strongly believe this. You said, it's helped you find your like inner peace, which I mean, to most people, that probably doesn't make sense to them. But like, when I guess just from years of anger management, like I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're in a controlled environment, and it's like it's for sport. Like you don't want to hurt anybody, but like you do this thing that's more of it's a sport. There's a lot to it. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn. There's so much education, to the world of fighting.
Yeah, and the whole build up to that is the training, right?
Yeah.
And like, how can you be pissed off if you're exhausted?
Exactly. you're literally in the gym kicking your ass, as you're like doing bags or something, or rolling, and you're exhausted. You're like,
how can you be anything?
Yeah,
when you're completely exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of my medicine and way of getting, finding that like inner peace.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, I realized that I could do things and access this like strength and anger during training. If I'm hitting the bag or kicking a pad, I can channel that and let it out, and then I'd be completely exhausted after training.
Yeah.
Right? But I'd feel good because I let all of that stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's out. I'm just laying flat on my back, sweating, and I'm like, I feel like I can sleep now.
It's probably the fucking best
you know what I mean?
release.
Like,
you're like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. So then like having to do that for months at a time and then go fight, which is like the most anxious thing I feel like I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
And then to go and fight, win or lose, I feel like I just overcame so much.
Yeah.
And went through all of these things. And so like, I'm just peaceful after that. I feel like obviously after a win, it's like to know that I achieved what I envisioned is great. And that helps with the peace. But like in the losses, it's kind of thrown me off before too, where I'm like forced to do nothing but visualize or meditate or find some type of way to calm my mind. But all of that was through fighting. If it wasn't for fighting, I wouldn't have experienced like float tanks and, Kundalini yoga and like all of these things that were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Helping me quiet my thoughts. If it weren't for fighting, I wouldn't have been interested in any of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, like, especially if it's something you're really passionate about, I think you'll do anything and everything you can to go on that search and discover what can I do to be better? Oh, there's this thing. Oh, okay. Like I think about it for me with like comedy's helped. Like comedy's been the biggest thing to help me find my inner peace.
Dope.
Like, because there's so much to it. Like, listen, you go up there and you eat a bag of dicks on stage, and man, when people do not laugh at you, I always tell people the best crowds to perform for are black people because they give the most authentic reaction. And bombing in front of a crowd of black people. It eats your soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you really, because they let you know on sight. And, like right then and there, like, damn, you suck. You know what I mean? And you're like, all right, well, let me try this one. But like, it makes you go on a search. Like, how do I get better? What are the things I could do to get better? And then all of a sudden, you start looking outside of the world of comedy. Like I really got into journaling. I already did journaling before, but it made me do it even more. Then all of a sudden I'm discovering these things like about me. Like I talk a lot about my life, on stage. And then I was like, I want to talk about my stepfather, going on stage and talking about my stepfather and how I would just sound upset. And I'm like, because I'm like, why aren't people connecting with this? And then I was like, oh, I sound upset, you know? So then it made me dig way back into my childhood, think about all this stuff, think about that whole period of time. I stayed journaling that fucking topic every day, and I still journal about it every day because there's just so much new to discover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm doing all of this because of comedy, but meanwhile, it's helping me find this like other level of inner peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you talk about like doing the yoga,
yeah.
You know, most people wouldn't think about that when it comes to fighting. You know, most people wouldn't think that I would journal and like understand my childhood and what happened to me in solid detail.
Yeah.
In order to like move forward.
Well, it's kind of crazy. Like the way that I see it is, there's different ways to like heal or find kind of like that peace or balance from the past, whether it's yoga, meditation, journaling, listening to music, driving your car, whatever it is. It's like, but you got to make the time to do something that allows yourself to, like, as an adult, step back into, you know, like visually step back into those places and handle it as an adult internally. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like for me, it was like yoga. I'm stretching. I'm putting myself through physical stress, and I'm just being reminded of like all of these things from the past and getting these weird triggers. But now it's like as an adult, I can kind of like go back and be like, handle it differently or apply a new outlook to it. For you, you're journaling about your past, right? As you're journaling now at the age you're at, these memories are coming from when you were a kid. So now you're looking at it and you have a different feeling about it now, right?
Completely different.
So like that's healing in a way.
Yeah.
So now you can apply like, it's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I'm not mad about this. It's actually funny because you're way more mature now. So you're like,
and then
but it's still taking you to that place.
It also made me find another perspective. You know, it made me go, what if I was cool with my stepfather? What if I was like, what would that look like? You know, because that's kind of a hard thing to think about.
Yeah.
You know, like, what if I was cool with him? What if I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm fine. I was like, hey, no fucking hard feelings. Let's be cool. You know what I mean? Like, it like, I love finding a new perspective because I feel like when that happens, you know, and I think like guys like you and I have been that way, especially because you were like, let me listen to this other genre. You know, let me see this other world of music. Oh, there's this guy, Marilyn Manson. Oh, there's this MXPX. Oh, there's fucking New Edition. Oh, there's this. You know, like it and all these perspectives, like, help you, like, find your own individual middle ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the cool thing about artists and albums is, like, you get to join this, like, journey with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I like lyrics so much.
Yes.
Especially in hardcore. Like, that's why I like to read the lyrics. Sometimes people just hear, like, screaming and you can catch a couple of words, but, like, if you actually read the lyrics, like, for me, I feel like I'm, like, there with the person in a sense. You know, I'm like, I feel you. Yeah. Like, now this song means, like, so much more because, like, I feel like I actually connect to what you're saying, you know? Like,
yeah, it gives you this, like, fuck yeah in a sense.
Yeah.
And I could see it. I could see you, like, and also, like, when I saw you sing with Terror, I was like, oh, he's feeling it. Yeah. I was like, he knows it. You're right there with it. So, like, you know, did you sing in your bands or you just played guitar?
I did vocals for, like I said, it was kind of like a joke band.
Oh, yeah, you did vocals with a joke band.
I always, like, as a kid, I always wanted to be a vocalist because I just, like, I don't know, I just like the spotlight that they got. And I was like, I want to be on stage like a front man. But I just never really, like, did it or got around to it. For Terror, I just felt like I had just gotten done with my last fight. And, like, the oblique kick, the guy's leg got broken. And I was just getting so much hate online and, like, so many different things. And it was pissing me off. Yeah. And I was like, I just fought. Like, why am I still pissed off? You know, like, I wasn't even really pissed off, but, like, why am I pissed off? I should be happy right now. I should be enjoying my win, but I was so bothered by like what people were saying
on the online. Yeah.
And it was just like I'm expected to ignore it because that's just what everybody expects you to do when you're a professional. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, just ignore it. Ignore it. It's like I'm still human, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm still human. Yeah, like
I
you
still
see
have
this
to
shit.
check my phone and see all this bullshit. Like I still see it. So whatever. I was
because the thing is like you have a bunch of people you don't know, never met in your life, don't know. I mean, all they know about you is that you're a fighter. And they come to your personal page. And they're saying shit to you,
just dish out opinions.
Dish out opinions about you, and it's like, motherfucker, like I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you're in my fucking neighborhood.
Yeah,
bitch, I ain't never seen you here before.
You came here.
Yeah, you came here to me. Eat a dick. You know what I mean? Like I mean, listen. At first, with doing comedy, it used to fucking irk me. Yeah. You know, but now I'm like, well, I don't know the motherfuckers. Yeah. You know what I mean? They don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
To feel that, like, I mean. Yeah, especially like, like you're in a big calorie, you're in a ring, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
And to get that fucking hate. And so what you
I was pissed. Mm-hmm. And so I was pissed and I was in Vegas a little bit and my friends are actually like in charge, like my childhood friends are like in charge of booking hardcore shows in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yo, you're going to be at Terror this weekend? And I'm like, absolutely. This week, because it was during the week. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't miss it.
What year? Like 1,000.
I even got in trouble with my girl because, like, she's just like, there's COVID. Like, don't be going to shows, all these things. And I'm like, I won't go inside. And I stayed outside for majority of the show. But then I saw the set list. And then I was like, when they play Out of My Face, I'm barging through the door and I'm jumping on stage. And that was like, I mean, that song starts off like, fuck everything. Yeah,
you needed it.
Yeah, every song just like, oh, like that's all I needed to like let go of that fucking annoyance from all of those comments and stuff, you know? So I just jumped up there on stage. Like Scott even just like gave me the mic and I like just said a couple words. I tried to give it back to Scott and he's like, no, it's all you. And I was like, oh shit. He just let me go. So that was cool. But I think my friend and I run brand Super Champ. That's kind of just like my creative outlet. So it's not only clothing, it's kind of just like whatever creative ideas I try to just like funnel it into that.
Yeah.
And then that way I can like share it with people. So if I want to make a shirt, if I want to make a skateboard, whatever it may be for myself, then I'll just make a few more and I throw it on my online store.
That was the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was fashion.
Yeah.
You got good fashion.
Thanks, man.
You got really good fashion. I see the shit you wear. I go, man, how come I never find this shit? But I'm also really bad at searching for like. So when did that come into the picture, like fashion and?
So I, being 300 pounds at 19, I felt like I could never find any clothes that I liked.
Yeah.
And everybody looked better than me every time we went out or went to a party. Like all my friends were fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, he looks good. That's why he's getting all the girls, because he's fresh.
Okay.
And I got to wear these fucking 4X Pro Clubs. You know what I mean? And like you know, like I can't find anything that I can wear. I'd always look just lazy because the only thing for big guys is like hoodies.
Yeah.
And t-shirts and you know what I mean? Just like just weird shit. So when I started losing weight, that's when I was able to finally like shop at the mall.
Yeah.
And then so I'd go around in these places and I'd be like, is this the look I want to go for? You know, I actually had that choice. Like, how do I want to look now that I can fit clothes? And now that I'm in shape and now that I know that I can fuck somebody up, how do I want to look?
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want to wear boots? You know, do I want to keep it like Vans? And, you know, I just started to like, how can I dress now? And also at the time I was selling merch for bands on tour, like before fighting.
Okay,
I was a merch guy.
Fuck
so like I always just came home with luggages full of merch that I collected on tour. So I've always been a t-shirt and like band merch guy.
All I wear is band t-shirt. I need to switch it up, you know. But it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, but it's like I mean like it's a thing, right? Because you can hold on to it and then you never know. Like 10 years later, you might be like, damn, I missed this shirt. I'm gonna wear it today, you know. So that's kind of how I started. And then I think recently my girlfriend's a model, and she has very good like, just like individual style.
Yeah.
And living in New York and like having a lot of like influence from her too made me feel like if I'm walking around with her, I gotta learn how to at least put together outfits, like, and know that like this fabric, like I can't wear like these fabrics together because it just looks stupid, or like I have to have clean sneakers, or like just kind of like taking care of my clothes and choosing more carefully something that I'm gonna be, because
you're like, she's so damn beautiful that I'm like, man, you're like, I gotta keep up.
Yeah, and just like, and also just like professionally, that's a good thing. Like, like if she's gonna wear a dress that's like, a nice dress, and like I should have something that's nice.
That's
not just
amazing,
like half-assed, like I'm just going to put on a button-up shirt and Dickies pants because it's, just like, nah, I have to do something more. So I just started like just getting more into like better clothes. But I've always been into like T-shirts and streetwear and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Now, to go back a little bit to when you were weighing 300 and you lost all that weight, what, like, because obviously it gave you this new level of confidence in yourself. Like, how did that initially feel?
I mean, it was unreal in a sense, because people saw me as a different person. Like, I have always felt the same internally. I'm still the same guy inside. But once people started to see me in shape, I just got treated so much differently. Like,
good way or bad way?
What's up, champ? And like, girls that I went to high school with, like, I had the biggest crush on you. I'm like, bitch, no, you didn't. Like, no, you did not. Like, that is a fucking lie. That is a flat out fucking
listen,
lie.
That Mike Jones song is so true. Back then, they didn't want me.
It's absolutely
so
true, because
that's so funny.
I had like 19 years old, 300 pounds. So in high school, I was heavy.
Yeah.
And when it came time to graduate, I was heavy, and then it only just went higher after we got out of high school. So then you mean to tell me 2 years after high school is when you want to say like, oh, I had the biggest crush? No, you did not. Like, it's just a lie. So like, and then even just like people, when I walk into a building or whatever, I just got a different type of like respect or conversation. Like, it was just different.
Yeah.
So I was just getting approached differently.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but what it also seems like you, like, just based on everything that you're saying, it seems like you stayed humble. You didn't let this like, weight loss thing give you this like arrogance as much as confidence, and you seem to stay really continue to stay really grounded. Because have you pretty much always been?
I feel like I've been the same. I feel like I've always kind of struggled with this like confidence in a sense.
Yeah.
I think it just comes from like living with the idea, like I just always felt inferior. In all of my surroundings, for some reason I just always felt inferior. So like it's always been hard for me to like kind of access this type of like arrogance, even if it's needed at a certain like moment. Because sometimes arrogance is needed, or like in confrontation or in something, but it's like it's always been hard for me to kind of like access that. But I think like I started to build confidence when I started to like actually push myself in any area. Like in training, I'd push myself past where I thought I'd quit, and I'd push myself. I'm like, got a little bit more confidence, or like these whether it's artistically or like musically, or even like with my brand. Like I started off like just like making weird designs on and printing it in like the most simple way possible. Yeah. And I never felt like good at like I can't get this out, And then I started to push the limits. Let me spend a little bit more time on Photoshop and like maybe buy a more expensive fabric and all these things, and then that's like kind of where I build my confidence, like, and I'm still building my confidence like even in my brand. It's like, it's just about passing those like limits where I think I need to stop and just going a little bit further, and then that's kind of what's helping with confidence.
So it seems like once the weight loss happened, you were like, oh, I can challenge myself over here.
Yeah.
let's go, let's let's really pursue fighting. Let's really, at first it was just like a weight loss thing, but let's actually go for it.
I went skydiving, like right after my 21st birthday. So I started training when I
can't go skydiving.
I went skydiving 6 times.
Yeah.
About 6 times.
Uh-huh.
And the first time I was 21, and I went, and we went immediately right after, and I went
How much did you weigh at the time at 21?
210.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't go skydiving yet.
You know what I mean? So those were the kind of things I was like, I was just like trying to, what can I do now that I don't have all of this this weight holding me down?
So you were just like, let's go.
I'm gonna try everything. Water skiing. Everything. Water skiing, hiking, cliff jumping, skydiving, skateboarding again. Whatever I wanted to do, scuba diving, all these things. I'm like, let's just do it because I can. I can now.
That's what I need to do. I need to fucking get rid of this gut. This guy gets to skydive. I can't skydive yet. They're like, you're too big, because the weight limit is I think it's like
20 something like that.
And just when they stop it, they stop it at 220. Yeah. And they're like, hey, you buddy, maybe next time, huh? Why don't you take some fucking pounds off and you come do this thing?
No, but really, realistically, think about it. Think about if you were to start a journey to shed, let's say 40 pounds.
Okay.
It's high, but just say my goal is I'm going to lose 40 pounds. And then you finally get there. You think about the journey it took you to get from where you are to 40 pounds less. A lot of changes, man. A lot of lifestyle changes, a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of, things to pass on, and, all of these things because you're committed to that.
Yeah.
Losing that 40 pounds. Now that's a brand new marker, because now you have all of these things that you can now do because you've lost that 40 pounds and everything that came with it.
You know what? I think it's I think it's beautiful what you just said, because I don't think I've ever told myself that. I struggle with my weight. I kind of just fucking stay the same at 250 in the gut, but I got arms and shit.
Yeah.
I got arms. But I think I used to be a competitive cheerleader. I don't know if you knew that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I did competitive cheerleading for 12 years. And it was the best shape of my fucking life, Just all the flips, tumbling, all that stuff, And, once I got out of it, I've tried to find my way with working out, because cheerleading, we didn't necessarily lift or anything. It's kind of like a secret, the workout sneaks up on you, because I was just having fun and enjoying doing it. Meanwhile, I didn't realize I was working out and and I built my body in a way to where it was, to where it just felt good and I felt really good. But, past that, I've struggled to find my way. I'm of what is the thing to do for me to really, consistently have that lifestyle of this is what's going to help me maintain the weight I want to be. But also at the same time, I don't think I've ever said how much weight I want to lose.
Yeah.
I don't think I've really, or at least just told myself that.
Mm-hmm.
I may have yeah, fuck yeah, in a group or whatever. But to literally tell myself that, hey, I'm going to lose 40 pounds and I'm going to do it. What's this journey? Let me fucking do it. I don't think I've ever said that before.
It's sick,
I think it's interesting, and I think there's power in that.
There's a lot of power in it, man. I think I don't think that a lot of people actually do that. It's kind of I'm just going to lose weight, and they kind of diet half-ass, and it's just kind of this this kind of go with the flow idea of I'm losing weight. It's no, you have to eliminate that shit. You have to go and you have to work for it, and it doesn't have to take long. It just has to take X amount of time of discipline and commitment. That's it. So you're just you have to just kind of reroute your life for a little bit. It doesn't have to be a year. It could even be a month. You can say I'm going to just reroute my lifestyle for 1 month, 3 weeks, and I'm going to try to lose 6 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And so now you have this kind of small goal, and you can just see if you get there, but you just stay committed to it. Every day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to work out at this time. I'm just going to okay, if I have a meeting here, I'll just have to alter this. You alter the schedule a little bit so that everything can still flow. And even if you're traveling, if I'm traveling, it's still like, okay, I have to at least get 20 minutes in today in the gym. So I'm just like doing 20 minutes on the row machine, just working my body. Okay, cool. At least I got my 20 minutes in today.
Yeah.
It's just small. It's just discipline, man. That's
yeah.
it.
And I guess with having this thing behind you of like, my goal is to lose this amount of weight. So it's like, yeah, when you're on the road, you're like, oh, I still got to do my thing because I have this like goal that I'm trying to reach.
Yeah.
And, and you get the 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where like, yeah, I don't know. I just never said to myself, I'm gonna lose, X amount of weight. And I think that's something that like I don't know. I guess you saying that it just hit me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I need to do. I need to set these bars for myself.
But also like whenever you want, because like
yeah,
I'm not here like telling everybody like lose weight, whatever, dude. When I'm not fighting or whatever, like right now I'm like 240.
Okay.
Not, but I know that
but you fight at
205.
205. Okay.
But like when I know that it's time to fight or like whatever it may be, then I just tell yourself this.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, commit to this and make it happen. Don't let it. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's
not
got
some alignment.
it's like an easy plan, but it's hard. Like it's not like, oh yeah, it's that simple. It's like, no, it's very like simple in that way. Like pick a weight and a time and challenge yourself to lose it.
Uh-huh.
The hard part is doing it every day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, my biological father, he just lost like 40 pounds. He went to the doctor, and that's what made him like, and he had all these like like health issues. Like it was like I don't know if he's diabetic or was like potentially getting there to becoming diabetic, and the doctor was telling him all this stuff. And what I love about this story of him losing 40 pounds is that, like, I think he's been out of prison for 13 years or whatever. He just got his rights, his full rights back, all this stuff. And so I think he collected all this stuff. Like, I'm out of prison, I got my rights back, and I can't let this like health thing, because he was like, I already did 17 years in prison. I'm not going to let this like health thing hold me back. And so he just fucking started working out, hikes every fucking morning, but the fact that my dumb ass could not take that and go, damn, I should be doing that too, or something like that. But I don't know if it wasn't necessarily that, and so fast forward to right now, maybe it's the thing of me telling myself, what do I want to do? How much do I want to lose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I lost 22 pounds on COVID.
You lost?
Yeah, 22 pounds.
Yeah.
I lost my appetite.
When you were on, like when you had COVID.
When I had COVID,
okay.
yeah.
I meant like when it came out.
No,
and everybody was
no.
quarantined. I was like, most of us gained like 40 pounds.
I had COVID. I lost 22 pounds. That shit sucked.
Yeah, I had it too. It was terrible.
Yeah.
11 days in the bed.
I lost my fucking appetite.
Yes.
I couldn't eat. The only thing that saved me was these little protein drinks I had in my house. That was the only thing that like helped me out. I always like to ask people this because I discovered it more so within the past maybe 2 years. Do you follow the world of Stoicism at all?
Not enough to like carry a topic on it. You know what I mean?
All right, and that's our podcast. Thank you guys for tuning.
No, I don't follow the world of it, but I know that like my girlfriend gave me a book called like The Daily Stoic or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like I do enjoy that headspace a lot.
I ask, I don't ask everybody, but like, it seems like with you, like I was like, I wonder if he, because you are very stoic in the way, like
me.
Yeah. You just seem like it, and I always fuck up the definition. I always have Casey pull it up. Yeah, the endurance of pain. Yeah, like not so much like it's just heavy pain and hardship, but like you're able to handle things and look at things, Yeah,
just kind of okay. So for instance, like my strength conditioning coach, and like one of my best friends. And the reason why I work with him is because like we just have this mentality, and I've learned it a lot from him, is that like you just have to keep going regardless of the fucking circumstances, man.
Yeah.
In life, when you want to like it's about survival, right? At the end of the day, it's about survival. And when I'm working out and when I'm in pain and the worst conditions of my life, he's like encouraging me like that it's all in my mind, and it's all like I'm stopping myself from being what I, like it's just this like this constant like quit feeling sorry for yourself, just get the fucking work done. I know it hurts, but get the fucking shit done, and then you're out of here. And so I kind of apply what I learned in training to kind of like life sometimes too. I'd be like, damn, I'm stuck in traffic, but you know what, like fuck it, like I just got to get where I got to go, or whatever it may be. I try to kind of not let life affect me so much emotionally, and kind of keep this like perspective or this vision like just kind of straightforward.
I just love how like I mean I just love how you're a UFC fighter and you've found like your calmness and like your peace. Do you walk out to hardcore music?
No, my last fight I walked out to Protect Your Neck by Wu-Tang. I used to in my amateur days, which I've always wanted to go back to, but I've been like a bit hesitant, is I used to walk out to Nina Simone.
Oh, really?
Very slow. Sad music.
That's what I figured. I knew it. I knew it because I don't want to assume. Because I haven't watched much of the UFC fighting world, but like I train
to a lot of hardcore.
It's hard. It's hard to walk. I would assume it'd be hard to like walk out to, because you want to be as collective and like alert as you can. And I feel like for me sometimes, like that's why I don't walk out on stage to like and sometimes I'll go do a comedy club and they know that I love that world, and so they'll try to bring me up to that music. I go, don't bring me up to that. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to. I'm not trying to go up on stage and fucking just one dude brought me up to Pantera Walk, and I was just like, bruh. And the crowd, and it was so funny because the crowd, it was in Florida, which like a lot of people retired there, so it was quite a few older people in the audience.
Like, what the hell is going on
like,
here?
What? And I'm like, oh God, Luckily I made a joke about it, but it's hard to kind of walk out to that music.
I think the training to it is a lot better for me. Like when I'm training, I can put it on.
Helps give
when
you
I'm
that.
When I'm about to go perform, I definitely want to have a little bit of a different vibe. But if the fight gets to that point where I feel like I have to, like, I'm unstoppable and I can break you in half, and, like if it gets to that point, then I know that I can go there. But I don't want to come into the fight like, unless there's an opponent that I just know that I want to break his face, and then I'm just like, all right.
Gosh, it's so crazy. That's fucking insane.
A lot of my walkout music kind of is based on like my view of my opponent. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
protect your neck.
That was kind of just like my mentality for that fight. Is just I felt like, at the time I was like spending some time in New York, meeting friends out there, like just understanding and seeing what it's like for the people that live in the projects in New York, or that are going through tough times in COVID right now in the middle of the city. Just the stuff that I was picking up from New York City, and I'm like, I have my headphones on and I'm just like, I feel this right now. Like I feel this energy. I feel this, I feel like if I was in Wu-Tang right now, I'd spit something just like out of this like place that like I just need to get out, like that's like, I felt like that like I can break into a building and just be like, no one can fuck with me because I'm just too stylistic. I'm too, I felt like a Wu-Tang guy. So I'm like, I'm coming out to protect your neck because that's the energy.
Damn.
But like prior to that, it was like, I don't know. I've come out to just some weird shit before. I've come out to Ariana Grande, like break up with your girlfriend. I was going through a breakup at the time. And that was my first fight, like during the breakup. So I was just like, I need something that just makes me feel good right now. So that I can perform at the, it just...
You'll find it.
I've come out to Nina Simone. I've come out to the Lion King theme. I've come out to the NFL sports theme. Or the Sunday night, like... Like, just whatever supports the mindset at the time.
I love it. This guy's fucking universal as fuck, dude. Fucking. I'm so glad we sat down and had this conversation. Anytime you're in LA and yes, I'm going to hit you up and we're going to have more.
When I have a podcast, I'm going to bring you on.
Yes,
I'm going to have the questions.
Yes, I'm going to do it I'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. Fucking, you're just amazing, dude. I feel like you're going to be one of those guys, even after UFC, whenever you retire or anything like that.
You got to watch my movie next year.
Oh, yeah,
my movie's coming out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this guy's doing
summertime.
Things.
Today's the last day.
The merch, the fucking movie. Like, I'm like, you're really going to, you're going to go above and beyond. You know what I mean? Which is like, and it's tough because, you do see what a lot of athletes, they kind of just, that just was kind of their thing. They topped off at that. But I feel like you're one of those people, where you're just gonna, you're gonna go far or whatever. But dude, thanks, we got to have more of these conversations though.
Let's do it.
And like I said, thanks again, all you fans tagging me.
It happened.
But now
you guys asked for it.
Yeah, now
you
can
got
stop.
it.
Yeah.
If you don't tune in and watch it and tell it and share it, and this video doesn't get 100,000 views on YouTube, then you guys suck.
Yeah, you guys suck.
You suck.
And listen, all right, now that we've met and shit, can you stop tagging me in every post? All right? Let the guy live.
Guys,
I know, we met each other.
We follow each other. We have conversations. Stop telling us we should meet. We've met.
We've done it right here. Khalil Rountree, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Hell yeah.